Welcome back, everybody, to another playthrough with Fizzy D. This is the speed run of Darkwing Duck. Yes, this is going to be tremendously shorter than the last Darkwing Duck video, and if you sat through that slog, I greatly appreciate your time. As I'm mashing my way through all of the dialogue here, I'm realizing that somehow the entire view of the screen is completely tilted. That's a little odd, but there's not much I can do about it now. Or there is, and it's beyond my skill level as I'm learning to edit, film, voiceover, and all of the good stuff. Definitely got to try to take out just the right enemies that I need to keep this platforming going smoothly. Like all speed runs, there's that debate on whether or not speed running is a sign of extreme skill or not. Some people say speed running isn't that impressive because you're just simply skipping all of the enemies. So, what's making it difficult? You're really just learning the game frontwards to backwards so you can just run through all the parts as fast as you can. Well, yeah, I do kind of agree with that, but I also feel like that's the point of a speed run. And if you don't enjoy that type of content or anything like that, well, you don't have to watch it. That's why there's so many options out there. Definitely happy to not lose the time fighting those green guys, which I guess one of them took very personally that he tried to take me out of the air there. Kind of would have been unfortunate, not kinda, definitely would have been unfortunate if I had fallen off the hook somehow, taking that damage. So thank God that didn't happen. And then, yeah, Quackerjack, very easy. Just keep using that heavy gas. Fortunately, I don't have a lot of gas left over now going into the next level. But in the meantime, it's the unskippable level ending animation, and you know what that means. Time for a sip of soda, and let's get on our way to one of my favorite bosses on the NES and in these duck themed games, Wolf Duck. Purely because I love the animation of the clouds blocking out the moon, causing him to switch back and forth between his, I was going to say human form, but I guess it's his anthropomorphic duck form and not his anthropomorphic duck wolf hybrid form. Yeah, I don't know. This part definitely play this a lot differently now than I used to as a kid and in the previous videos. Just hop along, hop up, keep grabbing those ledges and get along. And getting past those helicopter dudes there saves a lot of time. Those two are a little different. I kind of feel like on the first helicopter guy, I could take the hit, be invincible, and just get through. But problem is, you need pretty much good amount of health to go against these turtles. The turtles aren't necessarily difficult themselves, but if you're trying to speed through the game, their hitbox is a little tight. I believe the hitbox is smaller when they are shivering, so that makes it a little bit easier. But if you're trying to jump over them with their shell on, it seems to be quite a wide box of contact. So it's sort of important to really make sure you have full momentum and get your full height and distance in the jump. Plus, there, if you want to skip past that turtle like I did, and you only have one hit, it's a little bit risky to try to grab that ledge to fight the balloon guy. All right, we're going to take on Wolf Duck. I don't have a lot of special gas ammunition, so I'm just going to defeat him with the base gas. As you can see, when he's running towards you, obviously it's very easy to hit him a bunch of times. But if you're quick with your jump, you can hit him a bunch of times as he runs away. And the damage cycle that you can get stuck in with Wolf Duck isn't very tedious. But say with Liquidator, if you're trying to beat him with straight normal gas, you can get stuck in a situation where the, I don't know what you want to call them, the water birds that he summons at you. They can kind of trap you in a cycle of taking damage. So it's a lot better just to get in there with the arrow gas, hit him the 6 times, and move on. Well, I've had my between levels sip of soda, so let's head towards Liquidator. This part, you can lose a bit of time waiting for those eggs to drop. The problem there, like you just saw, I took some damage, and that was because I got a little bit greedy trying to move past this green guy. And the next one are probably two of the enemies that just take up too much time for where they are in the game. Like even in the last level when you're on Steelbeak's yacht, there's not two enemies that hold you up as much as they do. Not going to go to the right, obviously. There's nothing but free men, and ideally, this playthrough will not result in any loss of life. The last one took, I think it was 25 minutes to do that first attempt at the speed run, but there was 3 rapid deaths near the end of the game. I think it was something like that. So yeah, the one nice thing about getting through this section is simply knowing where the birds are going to come from and being prepared for them. There's not really a lot of preparedness you can do other than that. Just kind of get an idea for when they're coming. Right there is what I'm talking about, where these crocodiles, like bush roots, doghouse dogs, you really got to try to get that first hit on them. That way you can just mash the other two, and there we go again. Just so you can mash those 2 other hits and get them taken care of nice and quick. Yeah, I don't know if there's some kind of trick to getting through this area a little bit quicker. I'm sure that there, oh, okay, that there's some kind of speedrunner out there that probably, I don't know, maybe like you just saw, can take damage in a weird way that it skips them forward or something. I don't know. I'm not quite sure how I took damage there. Got to take out this crocodile. See, boom, boom, boom. And yeah, so maybe there's a way to get through sitting on all of those platforms that are moving. Maybe there's a way to get through them quicker other than just being stuck sitting on them and having no choice but to wait. All right, here we go. Lots of gas. 1, 2, 3. So I don't know. What are those? Water birds? Water fish? 3 hits. There we go. Either way, if you're using arrow gas, you don't give them enough time to spawn and put you in that cycle of damage. Okay, first 3 rounds of bosses are done. I think we're about the 8.5 minute mark. Bushroot's level, I still maintain for me anyway, is the hardest level. I find sometimes I can get into a damage cycle with these flowers where it's almost like I'm trying to take them out too quick, that I end up jumping, causing them to shoot at me rather than controlling the cycle of their bullets, like right there. Should just be patient, go. I think that's a pretty slick move, dodging that first bird like that. That keeps me a lot of time going. So this playthrough so far, at least, is definitely going a lot better than the original or the first one, which would have been the second video I did on this game. So I'm a little curious to see if I really stick with this game and go for a third run, how fast can I get? See, right there, I just constantly keep forgetting that as after you shoot that vine or that rose or whatever for the first time, you got a duck. I so often get hit by his first shot, and I know as soon as it happens, I'm sitting there going, no, 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 no. I should have ducked. I knew I should have ducked. Now, this is an interesting section. There's not really a lot you can do here. Some of the birds, when they come at you, like this one, I'm going to try to. Wow, okay. I was going to say, I was going to try to get him to potentially drop an item on the edge of the platform, and ideally it would be gas, and it was gas, but it didn't fall at the edge of the platform. So, anyway, yeah, if you're a little less gun ho there, you could have had 10 extra gas. It's a bit of a shame. This section right here, I find this to be annoying. I hate these. What are they, mice in armor? I just, there's something about them I just find really annoying. This one's not so bad because you can kind of just jump to the maximum height if you're on the platform below them, but there's always health sitting around, and there's some more. That was a bad hit to take. I don't even know why I bothered shooting at that thing. And this is one of the few bosses where the max health does not come directly before the boss. There's a little bit still to go afterwards, so you kind of don't want to shoot anything you don't have to. Bushroot is a long boss if you're not using arrow gas. And if you don't have a lot of arrow gas and you keep missing like I'm doing, then you lose even more time battling him. But otherwise, just kind of get used to him and boom, get those 6 hits in. You're all done. Move on. Sip a soda, time for a sip of soda. Mm. Probably my second least favorite level in the game when it comes to the genie things, which again, maybe that should be a weird enemy. Wink, wink, wink. Because again, so far, talking about Darkwing Duck and weird enemies, I kind of picture the hiring process where Steelbeak is sitting down, or I'm sure he's got office workers doing it, and they're saying, "So, what do you do?" Well, I'm kind of like a duck genie, and what I do is I hang out in my lamp, and as soon as somebody gets close to me, I'll come out and spit fire at them. Oh, that sounds pretty cool. You're obviously very powerful. Is there any chance that you don't have to wait for them to get close to come out of your magic lamp, or can you just float around and just attack, be like sentries? No. Okay, well, that's a shame. Haha. Humor, ladies and gentlemen, I've got it. One of the nice things, as you saw earlier, is that the genies do take only one arrow gas, so you can, if you're really loaded up on gas going in, especially if you've been doing more of a slow play, taking out all the enemies, collecting all the gas as you go, then I just recommend, like this guy, just go in with arrow gas, take him out. Don't even bother trying to get the 3 hits in before he shoots the fire. That was some bad platforming there. This is nice. There we go. So yeah, it's so nice when the enemies drop gas. If you're being safe and you're getting through the game carefully, oh my god, full container. The other full container's right up there, and 10 gas. And then, yeah, the thing with megavolt. So right there, I jumped to the left, but what I could have done was just shot him that second time, or right there a second time. Realistically, I lose quite a bit of time on this guy. That could have been quicker. Like, that was quick, but I probably could have used my invincibility flash a little bit more carefully and timed a few extra shots of arrow gas. But I digress. Time for you know. Oh, here we go. Here we go. One of my favorite enemies. Obviously, one of the weirdest enemies, the kangaroo basketball team. You know, I noticed earlier, there's a, no, wait, maybe it's in DuckTales. There's like these baseball pitchers that are throwing baseballs at you. And Yeah, so there must be some kind of idea that came out in the 80s where bad guys would have sports themed henchmen. Henchmen? Or I guess there was also Casey Jones famously. But yeah, this is an interesting spot. If you don't do stupid things like that, you can get through pretty quick. There's lots of health to be found. Now there's nice gas. This is an interesting rotation for these platforms. They're sort of backwards than they used to be. Normally, when you get up to the second platform, you're right underneath. So there, I just lost 3 or 4 seconds. So we'll see how long this video is, but I have a suspicion I could knock a couple minutes off for sure. Part of the problem is talking. If I sit down, there's nobody around, and actually, even if I have the sound of the game turned off and I just kind of focus in on the game, then things go a lot smoother. But I don't know. Yeah, these guys. This guy's a tricky one because you really can't aim the height as easy. Same with this one, but you get lots of distance from his bullets. This is why that one at the start of the game, when you're dodging that turtle and you're grabbing on the ledge, can be a little bit tricky. And this guy, if I was confident, if I wasn't sitting at one hit, I definitely would have just ran past him. But this guy, when he turns around, there's always a potential, oops, sorry, potential shot there that he's going to fire at you. And then because I'm just running around at one health now, things are a little intense. And that's why I'm going to fight this turtle. He's either going to drop health for me, or I'm not risking having to try to jump over that hitbox because it's a little tricky. Yeah, I lose a lot of time on these turtles, and that's because I got here with only one hit. Very precarious. Oh, there we go. Well, couldn't the last turtle drop that? That would have been nice because there's this one right here too. So if I had gone in there with more health, I could have easily. Oh, what? Grab on. I could have easily just kind of used the invincibility. There you go, to get me through. But oh well. Either way, we're here to the hardest boss in the game. But again, he only needs 6 arrow shots. One, two. Oops. I'm going to try to get him to come up here. Wow, this is bad. There. Oh my gosh. There we go. One, two, three. Oh, I must have hit him 3 times. I thought I only got him twice during that first cycle. That's crazy. Well, oh well. Time to celebrate. All right, let's get dangerous on our way to Steelbeak. Not overly a difficult level anymore. When I first started playing this game, or started playing it again, every game that I play, when I say first start playing, realistically, what I'm saying is when I first started playing it again, because as a kid, these were games that I played a whole bunch. But yeah, so this was a level when I was a kid, and even when I first started playing on that first video I posted 2 weeks ago now, I think it was a lot more difficult. I had a hard time with the cyborg chefs that come up later on, but now that I kind of know how to handle them, the only tricky part about this level is getting to Steelbeak and getting into position to defeating him without dying. So far, so good. We're on the last level, 0 deaths. I think we're still at only about 20 minutes into the level or into the game. So far, so good. If we don't die during the opening of the Steelbeak battle, things should be okay. Okay, here it comes. Here comes the end game. These guys are technically the hardest enemy in the game because if I wanted to defeat him there, it's such a tight quarter to try to battle him in. So, for the most part, you're just going to get them to stop shooting, switch to their T800 form or D800 for duck. Get them into their T800 form, just skip on past them. Whoop. But there is that one at the end that you have no choice but to take it all the way down into its springy jumping form, which can really make it so that you're going into Steelbeak with at least 1/4 of your heart gone. But now that I know the trick, take him down to his T800 form, 4 shots of regular gas, switch to arrow gas, you're good to go. This guy doesn't really matter how much he hits you because there's that full health down there. Get him down to 4. Yep. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arrow gas. And then here, there should be no reason to take a hit. Okay. Up until the final boss. So, assuming I don't take any more damage, definitely going into Steelbeak with at least 1 hit gone. There we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. Arrow gas. All right, let's go. Let's get up there. Up, 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 up. Yes, that's it. That's it. It's over. That's it. That's all it takes. Oh my gosh, unless I really do something stupid, this is a no death run. No death run. Go, 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 go. Yes, there it is. What are we at? 21 minutes and 45 seconds as the closing cutscene plays out. Definitely going to celebrate with a fresh, crisp, cold can of soda. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like, share, and subscribe. Stay tuned for more playthroughs, more speed runs, more personal histories, sips and tips, weird enemies, and a lot more shows still to come. Thank you. The channel's just growing strength to strength all the time. I appreciate every one of you. Bye.